During the course of this broadcast, especially for our young viewers, we will discuss what does all avenues mean. General Sharma, if China comes up to some area which we say is ours, should we, as standard operating procedure, do a quid pro quo? We go into an area on that side and then negotiate a mutual withdrawal. It's happened in the past. You've done that in the past, haven't you, General?
Yeah, it's been done earlier. It's been done earlier in some form, and the Depsang happened, and we did something in Chumar. And then finally, when the negotiation took place after 20 days of that standoff, then they were withdrawn back, or the forces were dismantled, and we withdrew back to Israel. There was a quid pro quo of a kind done, and in 2013. Subsequently, when Gen Hooda was commanding Northern Army, there was a major action carried out in Chumar, which Gen Hooda can tell you. It was a very strong action done there at that time. So we have reacted in good amount of force when we want to do so. The point comes in here is that there are serious negotiations on. The fourth time the corps commanders are met today. One does not know exactly what has been decided and what has been spoken of in these meetings, and whether we have that avenue still available to us for taking up a quid pro quo, or as Gen Hooda says just now, that there is an inevitability of us taking a forceful action to evict, which is a final resort, which naturally nobody wants to go into an escalatory matrix of this kind, but one has to be prepared. But the time will tell as to what happens in this negotiation. Before the negotiation started, we could have well done many things which we are capable of doing in the same sector and in sectors elsewhere also.
Oh, absolutely. General Hooda, you've dealt with this situation. You've dealt with Chinese belligerence in the past. This time are things very different, General. Either a quid pro quo. We want to negotiate. We want to avoid a skirmish. But are the Chinese coming to the talks table with the same mindset? Because in the past, General, every time they've negotiated, they've actually been strengthening themselves using that time.
So, Gaurav, frankly, the situation this time is a little different from, the past standoff. The past standoffs were very localized. There was a complete absence of violence on both sides. This time, as even Gen Sharma said, they have come prepared, to be much more forceful, to be much more assertive on the LAC. They have intruded in multiple areas. And therefore, our reaction also, we need to carefully think through what we should be doing. But certainly what they have done this time is a departure from the past. And I think the principles that we have followed in the past, I don't think hold good. Completely the protocols have broken down, the agreements have broken down, and therefore our actions also must be much more firm, must be much more assertive. And we hope it doesn't come to that, but we just should not completely rule out any options using our own military force, quid pro quo as you talked about, or if something else is required, then we should not just completely take it off the table.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because General Sharma, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he visited Ladakh recently, he insisted that peace comes from a position of strength. So now that we have our Su-30 MKIs, the Mirage 2000s, the MiG-29 air superiority fighters, the Apaches, the Chinooks, the divisions that are deployed there, what message is India sending? And is China actually getting that message? You've commanded that corps. You've held that ground. What is your appreciation of the current situation?
Okay, see, the quantum of force that we have been able to bring in there is a very robust measure. It actually gives out a deterrent to him not to try out anything beyond what he's already done, because there was a threat in being of these two divisions, an armored and mechanized motorized division that he's brought around here. So that threat has been put to rest, saying that we have the capacities to handle what you have brought in this area, in the forms of having the troops that we have on ground, our own armored formations, as also the strong strength being shown by the Air Force in all these manifestations. So the fact is that the threat of conventional war, if it was in minds of people, has been deterred in some form or the other. Now the other part is that how to resolve this situation and how does it happen subsequently as things develop. Well, okay, time will tell. We had a long time for Samudrong 2. Now here, as Gen Hooda says, there have been series of operations being carried out by him, and this series is the first time that we have seen. So it has to be handled in a form to show strength, as Prime Minister Modi has said, as also to show that we are not being bullied at all by his actions on the line of actual control.